Hello, my scholars. This is the review for the Unit 3 test. Okay, so let's take a look at the first problem. So we see a graph. So immediately, I'm going to look through here. Ooh, wrong one. So immediately I'm going to look through. So let's take a look, right? This says graph, okay? Think that's it, but let's take a look through, right? Nothing else talks about graph. Everything talks about points and equations and slopes. So anything with graph, look at these pages with the graphs, okay? Kind of makes sense. So the first thing it's asking is, what is the slope? So if you take a look right here, this first line right here talks about finding the slope. So it's rise over run. So how much I go up or down and how much I go to the right. See how this arrow right here, how much goes up or down and how much goes to the right. The right's always positive, so up or down determines if we're negative, okay? So let's take a look. So I'm going down 1. Okay, that is a -1. And then I'm also going to the right 2. So right 2 is a +2. Okay, so down 1, right 2, that's a +2. Our slope is rise over run. So our slope is -1 over 2. Okay, y-intercept. So the y-intercept, this is our y-axis right here, okay? So it's where our line crosses through, and it crosses right here at 6. So our b is equal to 6. I put b is equal to b. B is equal to 6. So now I just put in my m and my b. Y equals -1/2 x. And it's a +6, so it's +6. There's your answer. Once again, the slope is rise over run. Okay, so we're going from left to right. So I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3. It's a +3, and to the right 2. 1, 2. Okay, so rise over run. I went up 3, so rise is 3. Went to the right 2, so run is 2. So my slope is 3 over 2. We can't reduce that anymore, so you just leave it as is. Remember, this is my y-axis right here. I need to figure out where it crosses that orange line, and it crosses the orange line at -2. So this is my m, this is my b, and then y equals mx plus b. I replace my m with 3 over 2. And then my b with a -2. Or you can put subtraction 2. Either one is correct. Okay, so the first two right there we looked at were graphs, which is this first page on the notes, okay? Graph. So it says graph right here, just highlighted it, okay? It says graph right here, okay? Let's take a look at the next one. So it says given 2 points. 2 points. So that matches this over here. 2 points, 2 points, 2 points. Okay. Further down, we have 1 point slope, and we also have parallel perpendicular. Okay. Let's take a look at what we have. It says 2 points. 2 points. First thing you want to do is do this. So actually, I can Sorry, I'm doing the tablet. It's acting weird. I was trying to rearrange it. It doesn't matter. Anyways, so let's take a look. it says to find the slope, 2 points, find the slope right here. So if we're given 2 points, we treat one as x1, y1, and the other one as x2, y2. So x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay, so x1 is equal to 1, y1 is equal to 14, x2 is equal to 4, y2 is equal to 11. So I'm going to put in y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so y2 minus y1 is 11 minus 14 over 4 minus 1. 11 minus 14 is a negative 3. 4 minus 1 is a positive 3. This reduces to negative 1. So my slope is negative 1. Okay, so now I need to find my y-intercept b. So now I'm going to go to part 2. Okay, and I'm going to put my slope m is equal to negative 1. I'm going to put a note, choose either point. The point you choose does not matter. Okay, so I'm going to choose 114. Like I said, does not matter. So my x is going to equal 1 and my y is going to equal 14. So I'm going to put it back into y equals mx plus b. My y is 14. My m is negative 1 and my x is 1. So we're going to multiply, then add or subtract. All right. So negative 1 times 1 is a negative 1. Okay. And then we're going to add 1 to both sides. That cancels out. 14 plus 1 is 15. B is 15. Okay. So I have my 2 points. Okay. So now that I have my m and my b, m is negative 1. B is 15. Now all I need to do is go back in for part 3, put m and b in. So part 3, y equals mx plus b. We're going to place that m value with our negative 1 and our b value with 15. So negative 1, that looks weird. Negative 1x and then plus 15. Okay. You can also just write it as y is equal to negative x plus 15. Either way works. Okay. Once again, I see 2 points right here. Okay. So when I'm looking at which page to use, we got to look at what this says graph. The next one says 2 points. Ding, ding, ding. But we can continue anyways. 1 point in a slope and parallel lines. Okay. So we're going to go right here. 2 points. So we're going to use this one right here. x1, y1, x2, y2. x1, y1, x2, y2. So x1 is negative 4, y1 is negative 8, x2 is 3, y2 is 6. Okay, so it's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That's equal to my slope m. Okay, so we're going to do 6 minus negative 8 over 3 minus negative 4. Okay, 6 minus negative 8 gives me a 14. 3 minus negative 4 gives me a 7. 14 divided by 7 gives me a 2. That is my slope. So that's my slope right here. M is 2. Okay, that's part 1. And then you can see right here, it broke it up into the parts, right? Finding slope, part 1, right here. Part 2 is we're going to, we already found the slope, and it says the next step is to use one of the points. Doesn't matter which one you choose. So I'm going to go back over here. And I'm going to choose the second point because I feel like it looks prettier. So 3, 6. That's going to be my x and y. Okay. So I'm going to do my m as well. My m is 2. Y equals mx plus b. So my x is 3. I'm going to replace my x with 3. My y is 6. I'm going to replace my y with 6. And my m is 2. Replace it with 2. Okay. 6 is equal to 2, 3 plus b. Remember, mx is a multiply, so you're multiplying these two numbers, okay? So 2 times 3 gives me 6. Okay, and then subtract 6 from both sides. Cancels out. 6 minus 6 is 0. 0 is equal to b. Ooh, scary. Don't worry. You'll be fine. This is part 2. And then part 3, all we got to do is put in our m. Our m is 2. And our b is 0, back into our y equals mx plus b. So part 3, y equals mx plus b. Our m is 2, and our b is 0. Okay? So y equals m, which is 2, x plus our b, which is 0. Okay? You can also just write it as y is equal to 2x. Either way works. Okay, so let's take a look at the next one. Slope and 1 point. Okay? Slope, 1 point. Let's take a look back at the notes. This one's talking about graphs. Nope. This one's talking about 2 points. Nope, I have 1 point and a slope. Ah, here we go. 1 point and a slope. So we have slope-intercept form. So it's y minus y1 and then equals to m parentheses x minus x1. Okay? Your m is your m, pretty obvious. And then we're going to treat this 1 point like x1, y1. Kind of like we did when we had 2 points. The biggest difference with this is that there's only 1 point, okay? In order to use this formula, we treat the 1 point like x1, y1. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in. My y1 is 12. My m is 6. And my x1 is 4. Okay, so now I just fill in with the rest. So y minus my y1, which is 12, equals my m, which is 6, parentheses, keep my x, minus 4. Okay, so there's no double negative, so the first thing I'm going to do is distribute. So distribute the 6. Y equals, oops, step ahead of myself there. Okay, so y minus 12 equals 6x minus 24. Okay, we want to get our y equals mx plus b form right here. So we want to get y all by itself, so I got to get rid of this 12. So I'm going to add 12 to both sides. Okay, this cancels out. And on the left side of the equal, all I'm left with is y. 6x. And then negative 24 plus 12. You may need to use your calculator for that, but it's a negative 12. And this would be your final answer. Okay? Let's take a look at the next one. Once again, slope and a point. Okay? So my m is equal to negative 2. x1 is equal to negative 1. y1 is equal to negative 4. So we're going to use our formula like we just saw, right? We have 1 point and a slope. So it's y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. Okay, so once again, replace our values. Y minus negative y1. Oh, hello, Emma. Minus negative 4. See how this is a negative 4 here, and we're subtracting this number? So we're subtracting a negative number, okay? My m is negative 2, x, minus my x1 is negative 1. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fix these double negatives. Negative, negative means positive. So y plus 4 equals negative 2x. And I have a negative, negative 1. So it's going to be a plus 1. Okay? And then I'm going to distribute y plus 4 equals negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times 1 is a negative 2. And then we're going to go ahead and subtract 4 from both sides. Remember, keep your constants with your constants. That cancels out. The only thing on the left side of the equal is my y. So y equals negative 2x minus 6. All right. All right, so we can take a look and see, okay, 2 points, we did our equation, good to go. When we get here, we see something a little different. It says parallel line, okay? So for parallel, the m stays the same. So on that note, this over here doesn't matter. So all we care about is that right here, there's a negative 3x. So my m is equal to negative 3. That's all you need to know. Okay, now we're going to take a look at the notes, right? Nothing up in the first 3 pages says parallel, which is totally fine. Okay, once we get to page 4, the very top right here, you can see it says parallel lines. Okay, so step 1, m is the same, scratch out old b. Perfect. Step 2, x, y, and m, replace the values, solve for b. Okay, so we have x, y, and we have our m already. So y equals mx plus b. Okay, replace our y with 2, our m with negative 3, and our x with 3. Okay, so 2 equals negative 3 times 3 plus b. Negative 3 times 3 gives me a negative 9, so 2 is equal to negative 9 plus b. Add 9 to both sides. Okay, so 11 is equal to b. And I have my m, I have my b, so y equals negative 3x plus 11. Fantastic. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the next one. Perpendicular. Ooh, this one got a lot of people scared, right? Perpendicular. So your m is a negative reciprocal. Okay, so you have to turn this into a fraction. If it's a whole number, you just put it over 1. So, reciprocal, we're going to flip the fraction. Negative was what you think it is, put a negative in the front. So my new m is negative 1 over 4. Okay. Now we need to go to our b. So same thing as before. We put in our x and y, and our m, solve for b. Okay. So right over here, I have 4 comma negative 1. So x comma y. X is equal to 4. Y is equal to negative 1. So we have negative 1 equals m, which is negative 1/4, times our x, which is 4, plus b. Okay? So when you have a fraction like this, there's a few options. When you have a fraction, you multiply your whole number, which is the 4 over here on the right, with your numerator, which is this this negative 1 up here. So negative 1 equals these two multiply together, you leave the 4 at the bottom. So 4 times negative 1 is negative 4, and plus b. Okay? Negative 4 divided by 4 is negative 1. Another way to look at it is you could just cancel the 4's. If you're not sure about that, that's totally fine. Just remember that the numerator cancels, is going to multiply with the whole number. Okay, so we want to get b by itself. So we're going to get rid of this negative with an addition. So plus 1 cancels out. Negative 1 plus 1 gives me 0. So 0 is equal to b. Okay, so for this final step, y equals our m, which is, let me do a different color. Y is equal to our m, which is negative 1/4, plus our b, which is 0. So we get negative 1/4x plus 0. And that covers our review.